Yo, it's Trivelli. I'm back and the NFL season is back as well. And this video, I'm going to be breaking down the AFC East power rankings from worst to best. So if you can, please like, comment, and subscribe so we can get this channel out to as many people as possible. And follow me on Instagram and Twitter so you get my daily notifications for when I'm dropping videos, which is going to be Monday through Friday, because I'm never slacking. So let's jump into the action.
I'm living life like this. Maybe give a little glimpse, maybe give a little glimpse.
Now, looking at the AFC East last year, there was really only two teams that had a legitimate shot of making the playoffs, and that was the Buffalo Bills, who did win the division, and the Miami Dolphins, who slightly missed the playoffs, even as a 10-win team. Now, breaking down the AFC East this year, let's jump right into the action. We have the New York Jets coming in fourth place. Now, I don't want you guys to freak out when you're seeing this record that I have 0-6 in the division, going 4-13 on the season. I see them having major improvements from a year ago, where Zach Wilson is going to be a step up in the quarterback position. I actually think that they'll get decent production from Ty Johnson and Tevin Coleman. Not the best running backs in the world, but it'll get the job done. Maybe not in the AFC East, but they will get the job done. When Jamison Crowder comes back, they will have a decent, reliable receiver in him. I think Corey Davis comes over and makes a big impact. Same thing with Keelan Cole. Tyler Kroft, he's a middle of the line tight end, and their offensive line is going to get better over time. Their defense is actually loaded with studs across the board. If you guys are aware of Sheldon Rankings, Quinnen Williams, CJ Mosley, LaMarcus Joyner in the secondary, I think Marcus May is the free safety, and Bryce Hall. So I think that they're going to have a really improved season across the board. If we break down their schedule, I see them starting out the season with a loss versus the Panthers, Jets. I do believe they'll get a win on the road versus the Broncos. Then they'll lose the Titans, Falcons, and Patriots. And give them a win versus the Bengals. They're going to lose on the road versus the Colts. They'll lose at home versus the Bills. They'll lose at home versus the Dolphins, but then they'll get a win on the road versus the Texans. I believe that they lose versus the Eagles and the Saints. They lose versus the Dolphins again. Like I said, they're going 0-6 in the division, but they get that win at home versus the Jaguars, and they round out the season with back-to-back losses versus the Bucs and the Bills. But if you're Jets fans, you got to be happy here, because 4-13 is a major improvement from a year ago, and if they continue to get some nice, strong draft pieces next year, they could build upon that once again, surround Zach Wilson with more talent on the O-line, and keep studying out that defense. I think the Jets have a very good chance of being good in the future. The Patriots, I have them coming in third this year, 10-7, possible playoff spot. Very, very edge of the playoffs. I don't see it, but they're going to go 2-4 in the division, in my opinion, getting both of their wins versus the Jets. If we break down the Patriots schedule here, I see them losing all 4 division games besides the Jets. I also see them losing at home versus the Titans, at home versus the Browns, and on the road versus the Chargers, giving them 7 losses on the season. I do have the Patriots beating their former MVP quarterback in Tom Brady, the GOAT, when they come to New England on October 3rd. So that'll round out their season. I have the Patriots going 10-7 this year, and basically their depth chart is kind of middle of the line here. They don't have a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball besides Mac Jones, but we've seen Brady get that done multiple times in the past. So if Mac Jones can live up to some of the potential that they want him to, maybe he can get the job done as well. The base 4-3 defense that they run has a lot of studs across the board, so I expect them to have a very solid defense. The offense will come around as the season goes on, and they will be a middle of the line team. 10-7 is where I see them standing. This is where things get interesting. I believe the Miami Dolphins will come in second, but it's going to come down to a tiebreaker. I believe the Dolphins will come in second. They will be 12-5 with a 5-1 division record, with that one loss coming October 31st versus the Bills. But I do have the Dolphins losing a couple games this year versus the Bucs. I have the Dolphins losing versus the Ravens. I have them losing versus the Saints and versus the Titans, giving them 5 losses on the season. 12-5. I do believe the Dolphins will make the playoffs this year. As a wild card team, they should be that number 1 wild card team that makes it at that number 5 spot. And moving on to their depth chart, guys, a lot of talent all across the board here. I see Tua Tagovailoa taking care of the ball. As long as he does that, they should be 12-5 with a strong running game with Myles Gaskin, a strong receiver core with Devontae Parker, William Fuller, Jalen Waddle, and a couple of other guys that are going to get a lot of time as well, like Mike Gesicki at the tight end spot. Very, very solid. Base 3-4 defense defense is star-studded across the board. You've got players all across this board. I don't even have to go into it. Just know the Dolphins are pretty much one of the best teams in the league this year. They should compete for a division title, but I believe that title is going to go to the Buffalo Bills, who will also be 5-1 in the division, 12-5. So you can see this is going to come down to a couple tiebreakers here. It's just with the Dolphins' luck, I believe the Bills will win that tiebreaker. They will be the division crown holder, and Josh Allen, Devin Singletary, Stephon Diggs, just this offense is kicking on all cylinders. When you have a quarterback like Josh Allen and you have some of the weapons that they have, this is just going to be too much for anybody else in the division to stop. And although I do believe the Dolphins will get their win at home and the Bills will get their win at home versus the Dolphins, they will win tiebreakers. And this base 4-3 defense, again, just pretty much every player on this defense is a stud. Jerry Hughes, Star Lotulelei, Ed Oliver, Mario Addison, Matt Milano, Tremaine Edmonds, AJ Klein, Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. They're all studs on this defense, guys. So pretty much this is how I see it playing out. The Buffalo Bills will be the #1 team. I believe the Dolphins will be a strong second place team. The Patriots will come in third as a middle of the pack possible wildcard team, and the Jets will be a much improved but in fourth place once again. If you guys agree or disagree, let me know in the comments below. And as always, guys, have a fantastic day. Peace.
I'm living life like this. Maybe give a little glimpse, maybe give a little